Hey guys, this is Apothecon Crazy, and this is a brand new video for you guys. This is a theory video, and I hope you guys find it very interesting. Now, if you guys end up liking this video by the end of it, or if you think it's very interesting, or anything, please make sure to subscribe to get more videos on this kind of stuff, and please drop a like. Let's try and go for 115 likes, and enjoy the video. So for this video, I have a theory for you guys, and this theory is on how our Four Origins characters got to Gorod Krovi from Zetsubou No Shima. Now, we never get anything connecting the maps from the ending cutscene and the intro cutscene to the next map. Unfortunately, this means that we don't exactly know what happened to the crew and how they got to where they are now. However, that does mean that it leaves it up to interpretation for the player and the viewer. Now, I'm going to explain to you what I think happened in between Zetsubou No Shima and Gorod Krovi, and a little bit before that too. So, if you like this, could you please drop a like? Let's go for 115 likes. Now we know that these Four Origins characters have been on a quest to kill the 1.0 versions of themselves, or essentially the original versions of themselves. Now that we know, but we don't know exactly what Richtofen's plan is. And we probably will not know until the end of DLC 4. Now, as of right now, we still haven't finished the Easter egg to get the cutscene for Gorod Krovi, but I am fairly certain that it will bring in some good info on what the blood vials mean and what Richtofen's plan actually is. Now, I think that Richtofen's plan is more intricate than the other three characters could ever imagine, because Richtofen is out to essentially save the world from his misdeeds in his other life. Now, we all know of the rift that was introduced in Shadows of Evil. And in Shadows of Evil, you would take the rift to get to the Pack-a-Punch room, where you would put the Gateworms down and do that ritual, and you could open up the Apothecon Stone, and there would be the Pack-a-Punch. But the rift is also what Richtofen has been using to travel to other dimensions, other universes, to rid the universes of the other versions of those four characters. Now, we know from Shadows of Evil, at the end cutscene from there, Richtofen comes through the rift and takes the summoning key from the Keepers and the Four Shadows characters. Now, right there, we found out that the rift is used for more than just getting to the Apothecon Stone and the Pack-a-Punch. Now, at the beginning of the Gorod Krovi intro, what's interesting is we see the Four Origins characters fall out of this portal that we can only assume is the Aurora Borealis that Peter McCain talks about in his note. Now, we found this note in form of a cipher, and what's really interesting about this cipher is he talks about this Aurora Borealis that he's looking down on, and he has the Ray Gun Mark III, essentially. Now, if you look at this Aurora Borealis thing, it spits them out like a portal. That's really interesting, because we don't know necessarily what this is, but it's spitting them out the way it is. We can only assume that it is some violent portal that they had to go through to get to here. Now, what's really interesting is at the beginning of this cutscene, the first thing you hear is well, of course, Motorhead, Ace of Spades, which was a perfect pick for this cutscene. But anyway, the very first dialogue thing you hear is from Takeo saying, so this was part of your plan, Richtofen? And Richtofen replies, not exactly. Now, this could mean a couple of different things, but what I think it means is that Richtofen had no idea that they were going to be sent through this portal and plopped into the sky, falling out of the sky at this time period. Now, he knew that the time and place would be Stalingrad and this specific time. But what he did not know is that it would put them through this portal that would release them into the sky, making them fall down onto Stalingrad and find it ridded with just dragons and, of course, the old Nikolai just destroying zombies in his giant mech suit. Now, at the end of the Easter egg for Zetsubou No Shima, the four characters travel through the rift to some mystery location. We don't know yet. It could have been Mob of the Dead, it could have been Shadows of Evil, it could have been anywhere. But we don't know. All we know is that they came back with blood vials, and each character has them now, not just Richtofen. Now, we know that Richtofen has had the blood vials from Mob of the Dead of the prisoners. That we knew. What we don't know is what blood these other three characters have, because Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takeo all have blood vials now, but there's no numbers or anything on them like Richtofen's. Now, what if after they went to their mystery location through the rift, what if what they don't show is they went through the rift again? Richtofen is thinking that they're going to go to Stalingrad and get the 1.0 version of Nikolai, but he thinks that it's going to put them in a completely different place than it actually did. Now, this makes perfect sense because, like I said at the beginning, Richtofen says that it was not exactly his plan to fall out of the sky. Because, obviously, he never told the other three characters. Because Takeo is kind of freaking out, saying, this was part of your plan, Richtofen? And Richtofen says, not exactly. And then they proceed to fall through the sky and try and find a means to live. Now, as they're falling, Dempsey points out, hey look, there's a guy with a parachute, and that guy just so happens to be Peter McCain. You can see it in a very, very quick glimpse of the name on his uniform. So I think that in the process of Richtofen thinking they're going to Stalingrad, the rift transported them to some alternate universe that they weren't planning on going to. Richtofen was planning on going to an alternate universe that essentially would have been safer than the one that they're going to right now. The one that they ended up in right now is not the one he planned on. He did not plan on going to the same universe that Mob of the Dead would be in, because I think that this map is in the same universe as Mob of the Dead. Now, I say that because in Mob of the Dead, that was the only other map that we had zombies with red eyes. And in Gorod Krovi, we have red-eyed zombies. So that can't just be a coincidence. Treyarch doesn't do that. I think that they meant to go to another universe that had the yellow-eyed zombies. It was a normal zombies universe. But they actually went to this universe, which in fact is the same universe that Mob of the Dead takes place in. Now, in Mob of the Dead, you find out during the Easter egg, well, at the end of the Easter egg, I should say, that it is in fact a time loop that will never be broken. These characters are stuck in a loop, and they can never leave, and it will never, ever be broken. This is where Richtofen comes in. Richtofen says at the end of Zetsubou No Shima that the blood is a insurance policy in case they don't like where they end up. Now, what if Stalingrad, Gorod Krovi, this is where they don't want to end up? Most of us were thinking that DLC for that end Easter egg would be where they don't want to end up. But what if Stalingrad is where they don't want to end up? Because Richtofen says at the beginning, one of the first things in the cutscene is it's not where he wanted to be. It's not exactly going according to plan. Now, I'm sure the cutscene will end up being seen by the end of today. And we will see how it plays out. But I think that the blood is for this universe that they're in Gorod Krovi. This is not where Richtofen wanted to be. This is not where any of them wanted to be. This is a very, very violent and insane universe that they just did not want to be in. They wanted to be in another universe to kill another version of Nikolai, but they just didn't end up there for whatever reason, and we may find that out, we may not. We may find out why, we may not. So eventually, I think we're going to find out that at least one part of my theory is true, because everything that I'm thinking right now makes perfect sense. And I'm not the only one who thinks this. You can go over on Reddit. There are a lot of people who agree with me. But I think that from this cutscene, we are going to learn a lot, and we are going to learn a lot of beefy information about DLC 4. Now, leave your guys' thoughts in the comments below, because I'm really interested in what you guys think, because this is a very intricate part in the zombie storyline, and I know I'm not the only one who thinks this, and I know this is not the only theory. There are many different possible outcomes that this storyline could have. This has been a theory from Apothecon Crazy. Stay tuned for more zombies information and more zombies videos. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you liked the video and you want to know more. For the next time, I'm out.